I came down because I was concerned that freedom of expression was under threat at this time. And there've been a number of concerning reports of people being arrested for shouting things like who elected him, and also being moved away for holding up signs saying not my king, a perfectly legal expression of opinion. And so I came down with that blank piece of paper to make a point about that. An officer spoke to me and asked me for my details for holding up that sign. I refused to give them, and I asked him a question. If I was to write not my king on this sign, like the previous signs that I'd seen, would I be arrested? And he replied I probably would, because it was offensive and therefore against the Public Order Act.
Maybe they overdid it a little bit with, you can't hold that bit of paper. That was kind of wrong. I think they've realised now the police have got to back off a bit. And then obviously you had the other protest about Prince Andrew.
Disgusting! Wait, I've done nothing wrong.
A lot of politicians got involved and said that it was not acceptable for the police to be policing opinion in that way. And then the police issued a statement saying they wouldn't interfere with freedom of speech. And we held another protest the next day where lots of people came out with various pieces of paper with their opinions on them about the monarchy, and the police let it happen. So I think it has now been confirmed that we are allowed to peacefully express opinions about the monarchy in this time, which is pretty basic, but at least that has now been confirmed.
It's very sensitive at the moment because it's the Queen. It's not just the monarchy, it's the Queen as a person, as a woman who we just love.
A certain demographic, particularly of people over 50, 60, of all races, by the way, I should say, have this fondness for the Queen. I don't know if Charles has got the same TV appeal factor.
The Queen's personal popularity and the fact that she's just always been there has really stopped or hidden any real debate about the monarchy and its role in the UK for many decades. And I think now she's gone, and when the kind of mourning period has ended, people will begin to discuss more about why do we have this institution?
If the cost of living crisis continues and it bites hard, then people will start looking at where do we spend our money as a nation. And we do give a fair amount of money as taxpayers to the royal family. So I'm sure some people will be arguing, why do we need to pay for this?
If anybody wants to protest, please do it, because it's our right, and I'm proud to be British that we can do it. But wait until after the funeral, maybe 2 weeks' time, then do your protests, but not now.
I don't think many people, if any, will protest the Queen's funeral because people don't really have an interest in intruding on people's grief in that way. But I think the coronation will be a whole different kettle of fish. I think that is clearly...
Ron DeSantis, they're actually thanking him for having brought them to Martha's Vineyard.
Well, yeah, they're not angry at Ron DeSantis. They're thanking him for bringing them to Martha's Vineyard. Why wouldn't they? They got a free flight to the vineyard. And at first, it seemed like they had every reason to be grateful because the people of the town appeared to welcome them. As they walked in from the airport, 3.5 miles, they saw signs like this one. On Martha's Vineyard, the sign reads, "We stand with immigrants, with refugees. All are welcome here. Hate has no business here." In other words, no one who worked for Donald Trump can go to Martha's Vineyard. But they didn't know that there was a caveat to that welcome. Hate is not welcome here. Okay. Then on Thursday, an elected official on the island gave the migrants even more reason for hope, and we're quoting. "This is a community rallying to support immigrant children and families," said State Representative Dylan Fernandez. "It's the best of America." Clay Higgins represents the state of Louisiana. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. I mean, I'm just wondering what was going through your mind. You asked the basic question. How is society going to function without petrochemicals? Did you expect her to give you some answer?
Well, I knew that her positions were insane. I mean, Ms. Salter is a radical climate attorney, likely a friend of AOC's. This was in the midst of a week where we had to endure committee hearing after committee hearing where the Democrats were smashing the American energy industry and promoting the absurdities of the furthest reaches of the Green New Deal. And their star witness after 2 days of of hearings. On the second panel on the second day was this lady, Ms. Salter. So I had possession of her written testimony. I'd read it. I was prepared. And I knew how crazy it read. But then when she delivered it in her opening statement, she was quite vitriolic. She was practically spitting at us. And her anger was just unbelievable. So I knew when I had the chance to, I was gonna shut her down with her own craziness.
Boy, you did such a good job. Thank you for doing that. Congressman Higgins of Louisiana. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens. Stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson tonight.
The war in Ukraine, Russia's President Putin threatening to escalate the fighting. That as Ukraine is pointing to new evidence of Russian war crimes. Hundreds of people found buried in the woods. ABC's Lama Hassan joined us now from London as investigators work to identify the bodies discovered in territory recently occupied by Russia. Lama, an unbelievable discovery.
Yeah, good morning to you, Janae. It's a shocking discovery, a mass burial site in a forest in the outskirts of Izium, which is a newly liberated city in eastern Ukraine. Rows of graves with wooden crosses. Some have names, others are just marked with a number. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says at least 450 people, most of them civilians, including women and children, were buried at the site. The regional governor adding that some of the bodies had their hands tied behind their backs. Now, President Zelensky is accusing Russia of torture and war crimes, adding that an investigation with international help is underway. Russia has not responded to these allegations, but Vladimir Putin has dismissed a Ukrainian counteroffensive, warning that Russia will respond forcefully if its troops were put under further pressure. And this, of course, all comes as the U.S. pledges another $600 million worth of military aid to Ukraine. Whit.
Lama, thank you.
Queen Elizabeth II lies in state in Westminster Hall. The imperial state crown rests on a coffin. About 3.5 miles away, another symbol of royalty has been on display for the past 2 decades in the Tower of London. This crown, studded with 2,800 stones, was made for Elizabeth the Queen Mother for her husband King George VI's coronation in 1937. It holds one of the world's most famous and expensive diamonds, the Koh-i-Noor, which has been the source of a decades-long controversy between India and the United Kingdom. According to the historic Royal Palace's website, a young Sikh Maharaja in India surrendered the Koh-i-Noor to the East India Company in the 19th century. Over the years, critics have questioned Britain's claim to the gem.
I'm not sure any historian who's actually looked at the documents would ever say that British were gifted this diamond. It's part of the Treaty of Lahore. In 1849, Dulip Singh was forced to hand it over, having been defeated at the end of the Sikh Wars.
Following Queen Elizabeth II's death last Thursday, some Indians have renewed calls for Britain to return the prized gem.
See, ideally the diamond should have come back to India a long time ago.
For many, the jewel is a painful reminder of India's colonial past, and they want it back.
What most matters to Indians is it used to be ours, and it's one more thing that used to be ours that the British have now purloined as a result of their conquest and rule of our country.
Britain has repeatedly rejected India's claims on the Koh-i-Noor. Over the years, it has made its intention to keep the gem clear.
If you say yes to one, you suddenly find the British Museum would be emptied. And I know there's also a great argument about the original provenance of the Koh-i-Noor diamond. And so I think, I'm afraid to say, to disappoint all of viewers, I'm afraid it's going to have to stay put.
According to some historians, there is no legal ground for restitution. But on moral grounds, they say India does make a strong case.
The very fact that an Indian artifact is sitting in the Tower of London, in the Queen Mother's tiara, a place where it emphatically does not belong, is a reminder of how it got there. And I think in a sense, it's literally a criminal advertising the proceeds of his crime.
With the new monarch and government, it remains to be seen whether Britain will seek to make amends for its colonial past. Vidika Sood, CNN, New Delhi.
Tonight, in an explosive new interview, former President Trump warns there could be big trouble if he's indicted over those top secret documents seized from Maralago. Here's CBS's Major Garrett.
Former President Trump says he, quote, can't imagine being indicted over his handling of classified documents after leaving office. and he warned of unrest if charges were brought.
I think you'd have problems in this country, the likes of which perhaps we've never seen before. I don't think the people of the United States would stand for it.
Democrats slammed the remarks.
Inviting the mob to return to the streets is exactly what happened here January 6, 2021.
Trump also said he declassified the sensitive documents found in unsecured locations at his Maralago residence. This, Trump suggested, should absolve him.
I have the absolute right to declassify. Absolute. A president has that absolute right.
Trump's attorneys have not made this argument in court filings. Legally speaking, it may not matter.
Whether or not a document is classified is irrelevant. It's a question of mishandling national security information, even if they have been declassified.
Meanwhile, Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, having been subpoenaed, is now, according to CNN, cooperating with the Justice Department investigation into January 6th. At least 40 Trump associates have been subpoenaed in recent weeks, part of a widening probe into efforts to overturn the presidential election. That is also the focus in Georgia, where a grand jury is investigating Trump-led maneuvers to undercut the state's 2020 results. The district attorney told the Washington Post, if indicted and convicted, people are facing prison sentences.
On yet another legal front, CBS News has learned New York's Attorney General rejected a plea deal proposed by Trump's attorneys to settle a long-running investigation into possible financial fraud perpetrated by the Trump Organization. This development, Nora, suggests a civil suit could soon be filed against Trump and possibly one of his children.
Major Garrett, thank you so much.